This is Walter White. I'm kind of a fan of the guy. I'm so much of a fan, actually, that I even had my own Breaking Bad themed party before. I was born March 5th. This man was born on March 7th. What are the odds of that? March 5th and March 7th? It's something going on with the Pisces connection. It's not coincidence. This is a recap of season 1 and a little bit of season 2 of Breaking Bad. And there's so much to break down. I even got me a pen to help organize my notes. Just kidding. I don't fuck around like that. This is Walter White. He's a chemistry teacher. And after school, he works for Bogdan at the car wash. This is his wife, Skylar White, and their son, Walter Jr., who has cerebral palsy, but he also loves breakfast. It's not really relevant to the plot, but it just happens a lot. He eats a lot of breakfast. His life kind of sucks. He broke. His wife think he a loser. His brother-in-law think he's a loser. Even his son, even his own blood think he's a loser. And just to add some icing on the cake, this man got diagnosed with the big C. No, not chlamydia, that's you. Cancer. Our boy got lung cancer. He just be coughing. His own doctor told him he'll be dead in the next few months. They whole family is just poor, dirt poor, in debt, and got a damn dime to their name. They almost homeless at this point, right? And on top of everything, on top of Walt dying, on top of their son who already got cerebral palsy, Skylar is pregnant. As her husband is dying, she's pregnant. It really can't get no worse. It's at an all-time low, but his wife threw a party for him. I think it was for Walt's birthday. And Hank and Marie were at the party. Now Marie is Skylar's sister, and Marie loves the color purple. It's not really relevant to the plot either, but it just kind of bothers me a little bit. I think her coffee maker is even purple. And Hank is Marie's husband. Skylar White had a party and they all showed up. Hank happens to be a DEA agent. So he was like, man, these drug dealers making all this money off selling meth. And Walt was like, man, how much money, Hank? And Hank was like, man, hundreds of thousands, millions almost. And then Hank was like, hey, Walt, how about you come on a drug bust with me and just, chill? So next day, Walt and Hank and Steve Gomez, this is Hank's partner, they all three go out on a drug bust, right? For some reason, Walt is wearing a bulletproof vest. I don't know why, but he's in the car waiting. They both storm in. Boom! DEA coming in. And Walt is like, whoa, this is getting tense. From the rooftop, Walt notices one of his old students climb out the window. Walt is like, is that who I think it is? Jesse Pinkman climbs out the window, almost butt naked at this point, y'all. After the drug bust, Walt kind of has a new perspective on life. He kind of like, if I'm dying, I might as well go out with a bang. I'm not gonna leave my wife alone, broke, with 2 kids, a newborn at that, and a disabled son. Walt needs some fast money. He need a quick 100K. Walt tracks down Jesse and pulls up on him. How much money do you make, slanging meth? And Jesse was like, a lot of money, thousands. Jesse just spent all his money stupidly on drugs with this idiot. They all just do drugs all day. Just drugs. He is barely even plot relevant. He just do drugs. A junkie, as Walt would say. Walt is like, look, I know chemistry. Now, I ain't saying I'm gonna sell drugs with you, but I'm just saying I can whip some up. I know the chemistry and you know the business. So why don't we team up and sell meth? On the low though, on the low. Jesse is like, yo, Mr. White, you want to sell drugs? All of a sudden you want to break bad? And so Walt is like, I need the money, Jesse. I'm dying of lung cancer. I have a pregnant wife at home and a son, right? So he's like, okay, I can't make it at home. I can't do it there. And Jesse is like, I ain't making it at my house either. After I just got drug busted, they decide, okay, let's get an RV. They drive out to the desert, drive out to no man's land. Walt makes something crazy. Jesse say this is the purest meth he's ever seen in his life. Yo, this is glass, Mr. White. Okay, yeah, we gotta sell this because they finna get paid off that. Walt is like, sell this to somebody. Jesse is like, okay, I'm gonna sell this to this dude I know named Crazy 8. Jesse pull up on Crazy 8, and Crazy 8 is like, man, this is the best meth. All the drug addicts are all saying this is the best meth of all time, right? So they finna get paid off this, right? He like, man, you made this? He was like, nah, but I know somebody who did make it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's Walt who made it. Jesse is like, hey, have you heard from Emilio? And Emilio just got out of prison. I think after the drug bust. Crazy 8 is like, yeah, he actually right here. Emilio walked down the stairs, just mad. just mad. Look at him. Emilio is like, how'd you get your hands on that meth, Jesse? How'd you get that? Take us to the cook. We want the source. They all pull up on Walt. Boom, dum, dum, dum. Bass thumping, right? Walt is like, how could you let them find us? He like, yo, Mr. White, they held me at gunpoint. What's stopping us from putting a bullet in your head and taking all the meth you got? Ain't nothing stopping them. Lay them both out, take all their meth, and get the money from it, right? So Walt is like, look, I can teach y'all how to make this. They like, okay, cool. Teach us, and we gone. So Emilio, Crazy 8, and Walt all get in the RV, right? And Jesse is still sitting inside of their car being scary, right? Walt making his meth, and then he just, boom! Walt sprint out the RV and close the door, trapping them in the RV with all the chemistry smoke he just let out. They in there dying. They start shooting through the door. They like, boom, 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 boom. Shots start slowing down. Boom, boom. These two are dead. Dead in the RV. They like, look, let's get out of here. And let's just be done with it and just go. But Walt start hearing sirens. He like, oh my God, no. And those sirens could easily be Hank. Hank could pull up and see all this and just be like, Walt, you out here making meth with the dudes I just busted and then killing 2 of them? Walt is like, I already got cancer. Jammed. Shit. This man tried to kill himself mid-operation, and turns out those sirens was an ambulance passing by. So Walt just almost killed himself for nothing. Now he like, right? So he looking stupid now, right? So Walt and Jesse get in the RV, and Walt is like, look, Jesse, this is too much. Let's just get rid of these bodies, skip all the meth, skip all the money. Let's just stop and let's just move on with our lives. I'm gonna have cancer, I'm gonna still teach. You can still do all the meth you want, but I'm done cooking it. It's raps at this point. As they talking, they hear a body moving behind them. He is still alive. This man is still living. He's dead. He's X'd out, but he's still alive. And so, I'm really becoming Walt right now. They fly back home because this desert is cursed at this point. In the meantime, let's trap him in your basement and tie him up to this thing. Like his neck is like tied up to something. I'm like, whoa, this is getting intense. Walt is like, look, I don't want to kill him no more. I'm out of this. I don't want to kill him. Jesse is like, no. You drag us into this, so you got to do something about this. So they say, okay, stop panicking. Stop panicking, okay? Let's flip a coin. Jesse is like, my God, flip a coin. Whoever loses the coin flip has to kill him. They flip a coin, and Walt loses the coin flip. Walt got to end it all. So Walt give Jesse the task of getting rid of this body, but Walt made it easy for him. Just go out and buy a blue basket. I'll bring some acid and we can just dump acid on them. Walt needs this basket because it's a certain material that acid don't melt. Dump him in here and be done with him. Walt got the real job of the day. He got to really, handle something. They go home, go separate ways, whatever. Jesse cannot find his basket. He like, man, I can't find the basket, so I'm just use my tub. It sounds crazy when I say it out loud. And so Walt come over the house and then Walt is like, where's the basket at? Oh, I took care of it, Mr. White. Don't worry about it. I just put him in my bathtub and poured the acid on him. He's good. He's dead. You what? You put him in your tub? Jesse's floor is like dripping. It's dripping something. And it's melting the floor. So it's probably dripping the acid. All of a sudden, Jesse's floor just collapses. It just blows up. It just blows up. He's melted. He's dust. He's gone. It's a giant hole in his floor. They argue. He's like, how could you be so stupid, Jesse? How could you be so dumb? And Jesse is like, you still got a problem downstairs. You still got to handle Crazy 8. Jesse leaves the house. He's like, you handle this. I'm stepping out. He better be dead. So Walt walked to the basement and he like, so what's your name? He being cool with him, y'all. He's sitting down with him and talking with him. Crazy 8 is like, talking to me is not gonna make killing me any easier. Just do the right thing and let me go. Being a nice guy he is, Walt brings him a bucket to shit in and some hand sanitizer. I'm gonna go think about it, but I want you to be okay down here. And so next day come, Jesse is like, did you do it? Still didn't do it yet. Jesse leave again. He say, look, this time I need him dead when I come back for real. In Walt head, he like, I'm doing it. He head downstairs. He talks to him again. He like, yeah, it's done. Walt head back upstairs. But instead of killing him, instead of murdering him, What does Walt do? What does Walt do? He makes him a fucking ham sandwich. A fucking sandwich. He giving him lunch. So Walt walk downstairs all sad with his ham sandwich like a pussy. As he get down steps, he walk in front of him. This man passes out. Plate shatters, his sandwich flying across the room. When he wakes up, he like, oh, I'm sorry about that. So Walt clean up all the mess and he go upstairs and he like put everything in the garbage and like he feels something off. So Walt opened the garbage can and he going through all the plate shards, right? Y'all, tell me why it's a piece of the plate missing. And you know who got it. I know who got it. Walt know who got it. Walt go back downstairs and he's smiling. He like, Walt, thank you for doing the right thing. So Walt go to unhook him. After I unhook you, are you gonna stab me with that plate shard in your pocket? Crazy 8 pulled the plate shard out of his pocket and started trying to stab Walt. Walt got vicious. Walt put his foot up and started strangling Crazy 8 with this lock thing. And as he's doing that, Crazy 8 is stabbing this man's leg. I'm like, oh my God. Choke him out, dead. Dead man. Next day, they all settle down. Let's try this one more time. Let's make the meth. Let's sell it to somebody, right? And so they decide, okay, let's sell it to Tuco. Tuco is one of the highest drug lords in this whole world. Hank, he desperately want to find Tuco. He needs to find Tuco, honestly. But Walt is like, look, he can probably give us a lot of money for this pure meth. So Jesse pull up on Tuco, right? Jesse bring him the meth and Tuco like, oh, thanks, Jesse. And he beat down Jesse and take his meth. And so Jesse go back all beat up to Walt. Told you it was a bad idea, Mr. White. Walt is like, you went there, got beat up, and ain't bring nothing back. Nothing, no money back, ass whooped, pocket still low. Walt has to change. Now this is Heisenberg. Walt put that hat on and he head out. He head right for Tuco's base. I just sold you the purest meth on earth. And you gonna beat up my boy. So what you gonna do is you gonna buy my meth and then pay me extra for pain and suffering. Tuco is like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck you. Walt bring another chemistry bomb with him. Boom! The whole wall explode. Everything's just blown up. Tuco like, you're crazy. And then Walt is like, I need double the pay. Tuco just hand Walt a bunch of money. They in business now. Even though they had to almost explode his whole base, they in business now. So now Tuco respects Walt now. Walt bring the money back to Jesse, and Jesse is like, wait, this money came from Tuco? And Walt is like, yeah. He has a family. He has to worry about his son, his wife, and his sister-in-law who loved Color Purple, and his brother-in-law who's a op. But he still loves his family, so he gotta do what he gotta do. Weeks go by and they dealing with Tuco and they realizing, okay, he's crazy. Tuco gets sick of them because he feel like they are planning on killing him. And they were. In the middle of the night, Jesse pulls up to Walt's house. Walt is like, Jesse, what are you doing here? I have a wife and kids here. Like, you can't be here. Jesse is like, Walt looking Jesse back seat, and Tuco is holding a gun at the back of Jesse's head. Oh my God. Get in. He got Walt and Jesse in the car in the middle of the night, leaving Skylar at home by herself. Walt is just gone. They putting up wanted posters, the same missing posters I had at my birthday. Crazy tie-in, crazy loop-in. Tuco bring them to his house. This is Tuco's Tio, and he cannot talk. He communicates via bell, right? Now this bell may look innocent. It really gets them fucked up because they see an old man and think, oh yeah, we can just plan around them. They sitting in Tuco's living room talking about poisoning Tuco, and the uncle is just listening. He mute, but he still can like hear them, right? Tuco is like, what? And the Walter's like, no. All we did was change the channel for his show, right? Jesse is like, yeah, that's all we did. All we did was just change the channel on his show. There was nothing crazy going on. He like, Dio, is that true? And he like, Dio, are they punking me? He like, bang! So Tuco dragged Jesse and Walt outside to finish the job with an AK. So he finna drill both of them. Walt tackles Tuco and pulls the AK from his hands. Tuco tackles Jesse and start wrestling with Jesse, right? Walt holding the AK and is aiming it at Tuco like, but Walt also don't want to hit Jesse. And Jesse getting beat, he getting beat. boom, boom, boom. As Tuco is on top of Jesse, strangling him, Jesse reached in Tuco's back pocket and get a pistol and pop Tuco right in his stomach. Finally, right? So they leaving, and Tuco is still alive. He's still living. And as they find out he's still living, somebody pulling up, right? And guess who it is? Hank, Walt's brother-in-law, who is a DEA agent, the same DEA agent who busted Jesse, is pulling up. He was hunting down Tuco this whole time too. So Walt gets so low. Walt is at the ground at this point. Walt is almost hiding at this point. Well, he is hiding. And Hank pull up and he like, Tuco, long time no see, huh? Hank and Tuco have a shootout, right? Hank ends up killing Tuco. So now Tuco out of here. This didn't even scratch the surface, y'all. It's so much more to this plot. And if y'all want to see me break down the other seasons, be sure to like, subscribe, do all the different things down below. I love you, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Gone. He makes him a fucking ham sandwich. A fucking sandwich.